Okay.
Another day, another $1.50 if you're lucky. The golden eagle and the government will fill your bank next week if you're on a pension. So there you go. Well, contribute to your bank anyway. Nice to see you, Pete. Nice picture behind you this week. A bit of a change.
Thank you, Dennis. And it's $1.55 here. We've got a bit of inflation.
Oh, right.
That picture behind me is a truck. It's pretty obvious it's an RL Bedford. It's slightly worse for wear. And the driver was Kelly Tucko. And that was in Malaysia. There was a truck coming around the corner on the wrong side of the road and whack. And there was some of the 1RNZIR guys on the back of it, who who didn't suffer any injuries. Kelly got a broken leg, but Ozzy Osborne and I went up and sorted it out and towed it back to Singapore, and that's it sitting in the yard at NZ Workshops in Kangol Barracks.
And it looks like a bit of a rainy day, very much like yesterday for some people around the country.
Yes. Very rainy.
Yeah. All right, so here we are. Let's get into the day. I'll just go and have a look on my other. There it is. Got it. So last week we announced the appointment of the new warrant officer of the Army, and I had a message from someone who said, "Oh, by the way, warrant officer of the Navy had just been announced last week. Communications specialist Darren Crosby." And he is the right-hand man to the Chief of Navy. So congratulations to him on his new appointment. And I have to apologise. This is Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of it in my life. And thinking about it, it's one of those things that I've missed from my service. It was like the language of the Army in our time was interspersed with not only lots of expletive-laden language, but also little snippets of Maori all the way through. And it was just like a very natural part of who the Army culture was at that time. Is that your kind of experience, Peter, or am I just an oddball?
No, you're dead right. And just thinking about that truck there, and I still remember that saying, "Oh no, Kelly only broke his wai-wai." You know. Just the way we used to talk or used to listen. So, but everybody knew, you know.
Yeah, we all had a smattering of a few words that we had picked up just in general conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, and hey, look, I applaud people who at our age or maybe a bit younger go and immerse themselves in the language and pick it up. It's an official language of New Zealand, so I can't see the point in not learning it. Mind you, I haven't learned sign language either, so I'm pretty poor, stuck with one tongue, not so good. But there you go. What else have we got? Oh, Pete, this one's for you. Blue September, tell us all about
it. So Blue September is all about prostate cancer. And I used to be heavily involved with it when I worked at Placemakers because it was a big fundraising month. But the thing from our perspective is there's 4,000 guys get diagnosed with it every year. And, you know, there's a heck of a lot of them die from it. It's a killer. It's a real killer. Now, let's look after our mates and just say, have you had your blood test? You don't have to go to the doctor and get the old, what's his name, it happen. You can just get it checked by a simple blood test. There's a guy in Rotorua here who's ex-cadet, ex-1RNZIR. He's just gone through the treatment process, and I'm happy to say that he's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's get out there, talk to our mates and say, hey, you know, well, if you want, you can say, have you had the finger? But it's probably more preferable to say, have you had your PSA blood test? And it's a simple thing. You just go to your doctor, you get a script, go to, you know, they'll even send it to the blood lab. You go to the blood lab and bingo. So very, very simple process. And, you know, if they catch it, they can cure it. But if it progresses too far, goodbye.
Too late. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, have you?
I get it done every year.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah,
I think my
it's placemakers that started me doing that because they actually encouraged us to do it to make sure that we were following what we were pushing, and it just became a habit. And it actually, my doctor's surgery has set me up that I get a complete thing of blood tests done every year.
yeah.
So they just send the form to the blood clinic, and I go there and they measure about 10 things, and it's good, the old story, no news is good news. So if they don't ring you up, you go Yahoo. If they do ring you up, you go, okay, what's wrong? Yeah.
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 So I'm pretty much the same. Once a year, the old doctor does the full bank of,
Yeah.
cholesterol and this, that, and every
Yep.
other thing, and it's not a worry. So next time you're dropping into your GP, have a chat, get it set
Yeah.
up, and really, it's a twofold thing. It's not just about your health, but if it goes wrong and you do get prostate cancer, it's also about your family. They don't need to worry about you. They don't need to worry about or concern themselves with dad, uncle, brother, whatever, having to deal with prostate cancer. If it's too advanced, it's quite a debilitating thing. And I would suspect amongst the service community, we'd have our fair share of deaths caused through it. So, as Pete said, it's only a simple blood test once a year. And if the levels of whatever are elevated, they know what to do and can take the next levels to ensure that the cancer doesn't spread too far. And just earlier this year, one of the people I served with in Singapore passed away from a recurrence of prostate cancer that they'd had under control, but it got out and got away on them. So not a pleasant thing. So there you go. That's the bad news. The good news is Movember. There can't be many ex-service people, I don't care what the branch of service, who in their youth didn't happen to have, especially back in the 70s and 80s, the opportunity to grow a moustache, because that was one way of distinguishing yourself from the short hair brigade. So Movember, grow a mo, raise money. It's all about men's health, and that covers physical health, so the prostate cancer, that kind of thing. It also covers suicides, all those men's issues that we don't want to talk about, our own mental health and well-being. And it's a good fundraiser. So I'm wondering perhaps, well, I'll have a chat with the other committee members. We might promote it on our Facebook page. Send us a picture primo, that is in PRE, not PRI mo, and at the beginning of November, and one at the end to show how well it's done. And we can have a judgment, and then we'll decide what we can do as to how to reward people for their efforts. What do you think, Pete?
Great idea. I think I'd probably have to draw mine on with a pen or something because I've never had a full face of whiskers. I've got plenty of hair up here. It's not too much facial hair.
I'll just transplant a bit.
Yeah.
And the thing today is they won't be so noticeable because, well, they've gone from black to grey.
Yeah. Well, that's pen, black pen. Colour it in.
Yeah, and I, in referencing Peter's picture there behind him, I think he said the other week, throw up your best picture from your service days, with a bit of commentary about where it is, what it is, and who was involved, just to keep us alive as to what was happening back in the day. And we recognise that the sheer volume of photos that are taken today bears no comparison to what was able to be done back in the 70s and 80s, when it was all transcribed from click the negative, crossed, getting the photo processed. Thank you, Liz, in Singapore, for all those photos. But personally, I don't have a heap, like there may be a couple of 3 albums of photos that I took from various places around Singapore and Malaya while we were there. So send them along to Pete, or just post them, put a commentary beside it and saying, hey, this is what happened, this is why it's there, this is what it means to me, blah, blah, blah. So we've had the ice from Pete, we've had We've had Wairuru from Pete. What else have we had, Pete? There was something
This
else.
one,
That one
Singapore.
there, that's number
Yeah,
3. So there you go.
yeah,
So if you've got something, flick it up. Let's have a look. Cool. Ba-da-ba-da-da.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I just jump in? There
Yeah.
have been some amazing photos posted on our Facebook page, and quite often you see the comments, well, but can somebody put the names to them and a date and that puts it into perspective.
Yep.
Uh,
And
just a
and
bit more
perhaps
information.
it doesn't have to be the photo of the century. Just going about doing what we used to do.
Yeah,
R&R in the jungle by the Tioman Sea, I think it was. If you were fortunate to be in that part of the world. Dive courses. Yes, a little bit of jungle bashing. Occasionally your camera made it out into the wilds. So whatever you've got, don't be afraid to throw it up and let's have a look and share the history.
somebody did post a pretty cool photo the other day of on the confidence course in Dieppe.
All right.
Whole bunch of guys. Yeah, yeah, it was neat. Black and white photos that looked really good.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Pete.
Mm.
So the other one is give a little page. How are we doing?
Well, I'd like to say we're doing really well, but we've sort of ground to a halt.
Oh, okay.
Nothing's coming in the last week. So once again, I say, we can't help our guys if you don't help us.
Yep.
That's all I can say. And please, give us a $5 donation or whatever you can afford. So
Yeah, yeah.
be much appreciated.
Every little bit will go to helping us help others, especially those who are on that kind of the post 74 years, so not entitled to Veterans Affairs, maybe not recognised by some of the RSAs, but still have an issue that needs some kind of assistance. And don't just think of I need glasses, teeth, or hearing. There are other things out there in the health world, or just in life that you might need assistance with that we may be able to help. So, if you can, drop $1 in the box for the Give a Little page, cup of coffee price, whatever that is, and we can see how we can grow it and be of assistance to those we have served with, who may need still us to serve them. There you go. So I think I've got Cross the Bar. So this comes via Frank from somewhere in the northern climes of England.
Land's End. That's where he is this morning.
Oh, Land's End. Okay.
And he was complaining that it cost him $16 to park his car and $22 to get a photo taken with the signpost saying Land's End.
$22 for a photo.
Yeah. No, that's to take your own photo.
What?
Yeah. You're not allowed to use the sign unless you pay for it. Put the sign in the photo. So there's commercialism at its best.
Yeah, how to make $1.
Yeah.
All right. Bravo 18056 Gibbs Eric, Medical Chief Petty Officer, RNZN, served with the New Zealand medical team in Vietnam. Eric crossed the bar on the 11th of September 2024. No funeral will be held, just a private service at home. NZ 18810 Geiger Terence, able seaman, RNZN, joined in 1966, crossed the bar suddenly on the 8th of September 2024, aged 74. A service to celebrate the life of Terry will be held in Cornwall Manor, Corner Knights Road and Cornwall Street, Lower Hutt, tomorrow. No, last Thursday at 2:30. 120294, young Michael Joseph, known as Mike, leading seaman in the Royal Navy. Mike crossed the bar 13th of September 2024. A memorial service to celebrate his life will be held at the Settlers Cottage, Auckland Memorial Park, 2163 East Coast Road, Silverdale, 11 a.m. on the 23rd of September 2024. And the last post, 538 300. Aidan J. Donna, NZ Regiment, called time in Rotorua on the 10th of September 24, aged 86. Aidan would have done CMTTF in 56, 57, enlisted in the RF and served in Malaya in Alpha Company, NZ Regiment 5961. We offer our condolences to all of the families who've been affected by a loss, and offer the services of not only ourselves but also of the RNZ RSA, the local RSA branch, should you need to negotiate your way through Veterans Affairs or be in need of some assistance with the costs, that kind of thing. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them,
lest we forget. So there you go, folks. Short and sweet this morning. And as Peter's pointed out, and I'll just reiterate and go back to, Blue September. Keep an eye on your mates. Ask the question. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed, because we're all old now. We know what we're talking about.
No secrets anymore. The doctor knows everything about you.
Yeah. And look, it is for you, and really it is for your family. They're the ones who I would focus on. For me, I don't want them having to deal with me as a person dying of cancer with prostate cancer when it could have been prevented. So don't impose that on your families. Look after yourself, look after your mates, ask the question. Pete's answered it. Well done first time, 100% tick. And hook yourself up with the doctor just to have it regularly, even if you book it in every September as a memory with the doctor. Okay, every September I'm going to come in here, have a blood test, and then we know. Otherwise, it can become quite damaging to your health and to your family. That's me for today. I don't know about you, Pete. Got a good day lined up?
I think the only thing I'd like to say is just do it and save yourself and your family an awful lot of grief if they find out that you have something and it is treatable. So
yeah. I mean, we're all going to shuffle off this mortal coil one time or another. Yeah. But if we can prevent an early demise through a simple blood test, go out there, do it.
One last thing, I went to the case manager's clinic in Rotorua yesterday for Vets Affairs.
Yes. Yeah.
And went really well. They're onto it. They're actually being quite proactive, and good to see.
Yep.
Very good to see. They still have a huge waiting list for sorting out claims and things.
Yes.
It can be up to 2 years, especially for skin, and that's the one that gets a lot of us guys, especially from Singapore, the tropics.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. And Wairua, of course, being up in the air.
Yeah.
How many times did we get sunburnt in Wairua? Quite a few.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, especially the face, eh?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Especially so that's us for this week. Thank you for that little reminder, Pete. And was there a good turnout with the clinic?
I don't know, because we all had a set time.
Oh, right.
So we all arrived at, I was there with I arrived there with Danny and Bernie McCourt. Most of you guys will know Danny. He's 2 trips to Vietnam man, 161 battery, and his wife Bernie, she was a chief clerk with 16 Field Regiment. And then as I left, there was some guy arriving, and I don't know who he was, but he was obviously ex-military. He had something on his hat, and I was shooting off to Taronga, so I didn't have time to stop and talk. So,
okay,
yeah,
but obviously well worth it for Veterans Affairs.
Very much so, and you know, it's just finally nice. It's most of our dealings are over the phone.
Yeah,
it's nice to actually meet a face, you know, and talk to a face instead of a telephone.
Yep.
So,
Okay. So that's us for this week. Look after yourself. I hope you survived the bad weather yesterday, wherever you were. And today's a better day. Started off here at -2. The sun's sneaking out, so it's not looking too bad. And we'll catch you next week. Same place, same bad channel. Take care.
same here.
Look after yourself. Look after your mates. Look after your family.
It was the same here. -2 this morning. Ka kite.
Well done. Thanks, Ben.